Today, we're sitting down and talking through some different things. One of them is our trending topic today, which is imposter syndrome, which I think, correct me if I'm wrong, has become maybe even more of a thing in the past maybe 10 to 15 years of social media and technology than ever before. So let's kind of just dive right in. September, what is imposter syndrome?
Yeah, it's when an individual doubts their skills, their accomplishments, despite that there's evidence otherwise. Often it's seen, and it doesn't have to always, but in like overachievers, perfectionists, they're not able to see their part in maybe their accomplishments. They see that they accomplish things through luck. And so, an example of this is like someone maybe that has graduated college or going into graduate school, they would maybe say, this wasn't my ability, it was luck, or this person helped me. But if someone maybe really knew how I felt, or I don't feel good enough to go into this job, then they would feel that, I was a fraud. And so there's kind of this like fear that develops.
Right. Would you say it's kind of rooted in like insecurity?
Yeah, I would say it is rooted in insecurity. There's been some like studies done on it. I mean, imposter syndrome isn't a diagnosable mental illness or anything like that. But when they've done some studies on it, they've seen that family of origin and society kind of can create this. And maybe parents have really focused on achievement and they've praised that, or maybe haven't been consistent in the praise or the maybe scolding that they gave the child or the person. And then also, our society as a whole really values achievement and what we can gain, what we have done. And there's a lot of pressure there.
Yeah, my next question was kind of around that, was like, why does this even happen? Is this rooted in our childhoods? What is it rooted in? How does it happen? And like I said before, I feel like it is very common nowadays, especially with this, new world of technology and social media, where you really see highlight reels all the time that people are posting. And it can definitely, I feel like, weigh you down if you already were struggling with different things, with insecurities and all of these things. I mean, seeing the highlight reel of a friend and all of their accomplishments and, their perfect children or whatever it might be, I mean, it can be really disheartening.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. We get caught up in looking at, like on social media, all these pictures, the things that are shown to us, and we want to be like that person, or we want to have a life like them. And then we feel like if they really knew what my life looked like, would they accept me? Maybe they would say I'm a fraud. Um, and it's important to really think about, is that actually true? Are they just showing us the good parts of their life? Or is this accurate, really, what I'm seeing? And so, yeah, these things can develop from kind of this perfectionistic, I have to do things right to succeed. It can also come from just maybe not having a whole lot of maybe support in your life to help you understand you're doing well, you've done well in this, you've done this. Also, it's important to think about that when this happens, some people have there can be two different responses. Some people, when they feel that they're um, this imposter syndrome, they can overachieve. I have to do better. I have to meet what they're doing. Or maybe they'll just succumb to it and be like, I don't care anymore. I'm just not going to try to live up or maybe engage in the things that I see.
Right. Yeah. No. And I think the enemy just plays such a big role in this, and
Yes,
really just putting that shame on us and making us feel like you're not good enough, you're not going to succeed, all of these things. And I think he just thrives off of people who
yes,
are struggling with, imposter syndrome and all of these things. And as you said, it's not, a mental diagnosis necessarily, but it is a struggle, and it's a struggle that definitely has to be validated, because I know plenty of people who have told me directly that that's something that they wrestle with. And I know that that can be a really, really heavy burden to carry, when you're really just trying to be someone you're not, or, telling yourself you're not who you are, so
yes.
that is just really hard. And how could that be avoided, September? Like, what would you recommend to someone who maybe has a tendency to go toward that direction?
Yeah, definitely. one thing about this syndrome, how it thrives is keeping it secret, keeping it hidden. If I would tell someone about how I'm really feeling or who I really am, they wouldn't accept me, or there would be all these different fears. And so the first thing that you can do is talk to a trusted friend, someone that you know will respond well to this, or that you trust. That, hey, I'm struggling with this. This is what's going on for me. And that just first step of being seen, and hopefully they will respond with, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Or I understand. Or a whole different of multitude of other things. So I think that would be kind of the first step, is just bringing light to it, because like you said, Satan will, use this, if we keep it in the darkness, to eat at us, and we have to bring it to the light so the Lord can shine that light on it. I also think that if this is becoming a real issue for you, it might be helpful to seek some professional help just around if there's a lot of anxiety, perfectionistic thinking, ruminating. Not necessarily that there could be something there, but it could be helpful to just talk about some of these insecurities and the focusing on some of these things. Like specifically, just thinking about the imposter syndrome, just cognitively, just all of the negative thinking patterns that can come as a result of that, or can be strengthened, of I'm not good enough, I'll never be able to do this. Oh, look at this so and so, they've done so much more than me, and just having to live up to all these unrealistic standards.
Yeah.
And then just like the emotional side of it, just have there been emotional wounds in the past that are making this imposter syndrome show up a little bit more easily, where there wasn't nurture, there wasn't someone there that you had in your life, or just other hurts.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I even think of just triggers, are there specific things that comes out more with, and yeah, so good. So good. And I do think that it is so common, and definitely want people watching who maybe do struggle with this to know that they're not alone, and that, it's not weak to seek help if that's something that you have a lot of anxiety around right now. In fact, it's probably way stronger to seek help and to really just tackle it head on and bring it into the light, because that is such a brave thing to do. Because we live in a world that tells us to hide that tells us to only show the highlight reel. That's just the world and the culture that we're living in right now. And just to be that person who's vulnerable, who's transparent about their struggles, is so important. So yeah.